refreshing. Recently on this channel, I've done a whole lot of talking about shit that I don't like. And I don't want you to think that I'm this like curmudgeon. I'm actually a very positive person. I am crazy optimistic, just in a weird way. And so in today's video, I want to share love. You know, I want to pump out some feel-good vibes into the environment. Let's get into it. So this channel is Full Stack Creative. It's sort of like a cool place to be creative on YouTube. For our company, Indepreneur, which is primarily just a company dedicated to growing indie artists. We want indie artists to succeed. And the main way we do that is through teaching them business and marketing skills. And we also run an agency that performs business and marketing skills for larger artists where it makes sense for them to pay someone else to do that. And so, we are in a space. That space is like music industry, business, marketing space. In it, you'll find such characters as Ari Herstand, our good buddy, Damian Keys, big YouTuber who does music marketing advice. There's lots of music marketery types out there. And today I'd like to just share a few of the ones that I've found have influenced how I think about things when it comes to music business and artist marketing. So this isn't gonna be like every music marketer that has anything cool to say. That's not what this is. But it's just the people who I respect and trust and have come to really admire and think about what they have to say, even when I don't at face value agree with, you know, everything that they say. So I want to just give you a few great music industry, music and artist marketing and content marketing folks to follow who technically could be thought of as our competitors, right? They offer content or services or something of that nature that you might buy instead of being part of our community. Or not. There's skin in the game here, right? I'm not incentivized to mention these people. I have no affiliate relationship with them. I don't get anything in return. It might even be detrimental to our business in some way. So you know that I really, do admire them because I'm making this video. So the first group that I'd like to shout out is Contra brand agency, which is primarily the faces of it are brand man Sean and Corey DeSavior. These two are brilliant. They always have insightful things to share. They pay close attention to the business and the culture side of music and social media and tech. They have an awesome podcast called No Labels Necessary. It's awesome. And they're doing so great. Their whole team is great. I've seen multiple people out there on social media who I dig what they have to say. They end up working for Contra brand agency, which is so cool. Specifically, Brandman was very early on TikTok as a pathway for artists. You know, it's way in vogue. It's easy to be into TikTok as like a growth platform today. And you might be thinking that I'm like career suicidal because I largely don't talk about TikTok a whole lot. But Brandman talked about it before a lot of other people talked about it, and he was practicing and executing strategy with artists in it before there was a format or a template. He helped create the format and the template or discover it. And so did Corey. Corey was early to TikTok as well, but also at a time when we were, using primarily Facebook and Instagram ads, he showed us like, hey, YouTube ads have their merit here and here. All of his content is amazing. Everything he has to say, I'm just like, yes. He just always has great stuff to say in his videos and content. So yeah, Contra brand agency, Brandman Network, Brandman Sean, Corey, dudes are awesome. And if you don't follow them and you're an artist of some sort, or you pay attention to the business side of all this, do so. The next person that I want to give a shout out to is apparently doesn't like have a company behind this, just offers music marketing advice as an artist, which is awesome because that's what we are. We're all artists offering music marketing advice. We just have this agency, we have a community. But it's hard to take, everything we say completely 100% without bias because we have a financial incentive because we offer products and services in this realm. So to see someone who is offering this advice who you 100% agree with. They don't appear to have any incentive behind it. They're an artist themselves, and this is just what they figured out. It's awesome. It's validating. So this person is Bryn.marketing, at Bryn.marketing on TikTok. And then she's also an artist, really awesome artist. And pretty much like every TikTok that she's ever put out, I'm like, oh my God, this is totally like, how is she not in our community? This is exactly what we've been like hollering for like 7 years now. When you are a music marketer and you have to do this for other people and yourself, you come face to face with like what works and what's just sort of like hand wavy bullshit. And in seeing Bryn's content and what she's built by just giving this like rock solid advice, stuff we would advise from the agency level, is really cool. It's validating to your experience when these are the things that you found through trial and error. Someone else has also found them through trial and error. It becomes like more scientific. It's corroborated, you know? So, Contra brand, Bryn. I mean, this person is not a music marketer, but shout out to LaRussell. I've been paying attention to LaRussell since my friend showed him and kind of gave me a tagline on what his story was. And the more I investigated, the more there was to love. I agree with almost everything he says. I discovered him last year, and then, I was listening to his music, I was watching his shows, and that was all really cool. And then he started doing this Free Game Fridays content series where he just gives advice to other artists or people asking questions. And his interviews, he puts out tons of interviews. And when he's talking in his interviews, it's like everything that I feel that like I've always kind of tried to shout from the rooftops is like, these deals are shady. These record labels don't give a fuck about you. You can build your own business, and like, it's better when you have control over your own business, and you're better off just going direct to fan and selling them products like a real business. And he's done it. He did it for himself. And that's another point of corroboration, because like months after I sort of started paying attention to him on Free Game Fridays, he reveals that like he used ads to grow his audience. It's so great to have someone out there who is making so many waves being real with their audience and saying, yeah, I used ads. Because there are tons of people who did use ads but don't want to talk about it, or they weren't involved. But he ran his own ads. He ran his own Instagram ads, man. And like a lot of the stuff he says about running ads and how it's like super based on content and finding the right content to advertise, it's just like, man, I agree with everything he says and sort of his whole ethos. Super dig LaRussell. So I'm gonna say this wrong, but Elliott Tousley or Tousley, I'm not sure which it is. You can also find him on Instagram. I'll put the @ right here. I get fed like all the music marketer-y ads. So if you're running a product that's aimed at musicians, especially on the music business side, I get your ads. So I constantly see our competitors, and he was running like DNA agency, I think was his agency or something like that. And they work directly with artists, but kind of on the exact same things that we work with artists on, except there's an emphasis on playlisting as well. So there's some playlisting services here and there, but he runs ads. And the more that I've watched his content on his Instagram, the more I've realized like, oh, this dude's a badass digital marketer just in general. Like, he knows his stuff. He speaks the language. He knows all the same shit that, any direct response digital marketer would know. And so that's sort of like, you see a competitor, promoting their agency, you're like, I'm just going to put on blinders. But as I've been exposed to his content on Instagram, and then I found out that we have a mutual friend, I was like, this dude's really badass. He has good advice. When we started, it was like, some authors and public speakers, and it was a different space, this music marketing, music business space. It's way different. Now when I go on TikTok, there are hundreds of people, music marketing advice. And so I'm sure there's people out there who are saying great stuff as well and working really hard, and I'm just not aware of it. And then there's tons of people in the past who we've done podcasts with and who we talk to this day, and who we love that aren't in this list. This is just the 4 most recent cases where I've really been like, wow, they are killing it, and I'm learning stuff from them at the fringes of, the Venn diagram of what we both kind of agree on. So maybe there's some things that I could tell them, but ultimately there are some things that they talk about that I'm thinking about in a different way now because I was exposed to it. So yeah, go check out their stuff. They're really awesome, and they make great content, and they have great opinions and advice and tactical and strategic, and they're just cool folks. They're not like blah, blah. They're not like annoying, you know, which is a rare quality in this space. There's tons of, you know, I could go on TikTok right now and I'll just get a wave of like cheesy bull. So they're a nice oasis in the modern era. So I've done my feel good vid, you know, for the next few months. Let's get on with the complaining. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.